Last time on Corpse Party Blood Drive. They weren't just dead, but wiped from existence entirely. Mama? Oh my god! Ah! Oh, what? Why would you punch the wall? The wall never did anything to you, I think. I don't remember a whole lot about this game, but I remember him, and I hate him! This was our class TA, Miss Kuon Niwa, age 24. Okay, so this teacher, not only is she hot, she's rich. Hello, best girl. Nothing good seems to come from this book. Why have it? This is the place, all right. Shimorenjaku South Apartments. Greetings, my beautiful viewers! I am the Hunter of Comedy, and welcome back to Corpse Party Blood Drive. So, last time we found out about all the fallout from the last game, the Book of Shadows, and about how much Ayumi is, very much... She's on a very self-destructive path. Because she feels that everything is her fault, which it really isn't, but of course she would think so, and I won't deny that, yeah, her impulsiveness did kind of get her sister killed, so she has a reason to think that. Anyway, okay. Isn't this trespassing? Hey, feeling so conspicuous puts me a little on edge. If a door would... If door should suddenly open and somebody yells at me for being here, I'll probably just drop dead on the spot. That's kind of adorable. Oh! Is someone coming? When a person gets truly startled, she's unable to move due to a combination of fear and, well, being put on the spot. It's like she's been planted in the ground. Maybe human nature, but I hated not being in control of my actions. Nonetheless, there I was, a sitting duck, just waiting for someone to come down the stairs. Except no one did. Seconds ticked on, but I was pretty definitely the only one here. Oh, God. Could have sworn I heard footsteps. Oh! Oh, I am playing. Mailbox was stuffed with vast quantities of tissue paper. Bottom layer of this stack had turned into an unpleasant shade of brown. It must have been from years of settling debris. But if that were the case, it shouldn't have been that dark. What's in there? I slowly unwrapped the tissue, morbidly curious as to what I might find inside. Yeah, she has a morbid curiosity, she do. As then I noticed the inside of the mailbox itself was stained a deep crimson. Looked a whole lot like blood. Oh, it's a bird skeleton! That's creepy! I unwrapped enough by then to see what was inside the tissue paper, too. It was the skeletal remains of a bird. On the rusted panel of the mailbox, which I discovered this gruesome find was a name scribbled in permanent marker. Shinozaki. Oh, so this is like the lady we're looking for. Oh, joy. Okay, can't go any further that way. So, I think we probably got to go in there. I forgot I can get tired in this game. Okay, I can't go that way. In addition to most of the names being missing from the mailboxes, the ones that remain are encrusted with dirt and decay and are barely legible. Some, in fact, are just plain rotted out entirely, or the slots for them are rusted over. They look like props from a horror movie. No Makina Shinozaki here, I think. I should check one of the other stairwells. Ah, okay. Maki's apartment doesn't seem to be in this block. I should look elsewhere. Okay. That's why I had to come down here. Okay. But yeah, we're looking for this, Oh, fuck! That's not good. Stop! No! Shut the hell up, bitch! I'm gonna bash your skull in! What's going on? Is someone there? I must be hearing things. Where's my flashlight? Persistent use of a flashlight will eventually kill its battery. If that happens, you'll need to find a new battery and use it, or you'll be left in the dark. 401, Shinozaki. Oh boy. Should have gone to the bathroom before coming here. Guess I'll just have to hold it. Okay, so that is the flashlight button. Is there a gauge for how much flashlight I have? Oopsie, that's the wrong button. I have nothing! Door's rusted shut, it won't open. Okay. Door's shut tight. Wait, what? Can I not? I can't select anything. Oh, I see. Okay. So, yeah, okay, so, like, that's what it was. In the menu, it was, like, confirm or deny, and I was like, okay, I guess confirm is gonna be the X button on my controller, so that's what it is. Excuse me? There's a doorbell on the wall nearby. Pressing it only produces clicks. Guess there's no power. Sure, let's open it. Why not? I took a deep breath, mentally prepared myself for what I was about to attempt, and grabbed the steel doorknob. Ah! My phone? God, don't scare me like that. Who'd be calling me at this hour? Huh? Unknown number. Hello? Oh God! 042444444444444444444444444444. What the hell? Number disappeared from the screen as if the call had never been placed. What? What? It did say not to go. Like, I am one of those people that, like, if shit like this happened to me, I'd be like, I'm going home. I'm not going in there. But, you know, Ayumi... Unfortunately, Ayumi is a woman on a mission, and... God damn it, why? Is my phone on the fritz or something? God. Ayumi, you have been through horrible situations like this before. You're not this dumb. Why? Oh. It opened. Hello? It's so dusty. How many years has it been since somebody actually lived here? Is anyone home? Should I take off my shoes? I mean, technically that is the polite thing to do, but I would not. Welcome home? That was totally a voice. That's right. I need to learn from my mistakes at Yoshie Shinozaki's house. This time I've come prepared. Have you? It doesn't feel like it! With the voice recorder Sis used for her research. How is that coming prepared, Ayumi? How is this prepared? Making a documentary of, like, what you're doing is not necessarily going to help, I think. I don't know. November 10, 2008, 7:48 p.m. Beginning investigation of Makina Shinozaki's apartment. I'm fine. I can do this. I've been to that school and that house. Well, let's save first. Looks like a bathroom. Let's open it. Japanese-style toilet. Fortunately, despite the condition of the apartment building in general, it seems to be a modern and fully functional non-septic model without any foul smell. Wonder if the water's still on. Even if it is, the roar of flushing water would be really disconcerting right now. Why do I have to pee at a time like this? What the hell's wrong with me? You know what? Let's use the toilet. I can't. I really have to go. If I don't, I'm afraid I'll wet myself. Sneaking into a deceased woman's apartment and using her bathroom. It was kind of absurd, but I almost felt like I was infiltrating the deepest chambers of an enemy base. I'm so nervous it just won't come out. Oh my God! With what sounded like my own relieved voice echoing back at me from the walls, I finally done my business, but my bladder still felt completely full. I haven't gotten anything out at all. Ah! What is that? Blood? It's not dripping from the ceiling or anything. Oh my God! As if accompanying the loud bubbling sound, the dull squish of a blade cutting into flesh was also faintly audible. Immediately it brought to mind somebody slitting their wrists. No, I can't. Yeah, that was fucked up. Dear God. The way Yamamura was talking, Makina Shinozaki is dead. But her appliances seem to still be completely intact. Has anyone been in here since her passing? Damn it, this is scary. Well, no shit it is. On the kitchen table sat numerous prescription bags and instructions. Name on every bag was Makina Shinozaki. Guess that clinches it. This is definitely Makina Shinozaki's apartment. Ooh! There's a photo hanging from the freezer door. That's a noose! Why is that there? Though blurry and hard to make out, it seemed to be of a forest thick with mist, along with one additional detail that made it much worse. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Ah! No, I want to go home. I'm scared. Clues. I'm looking for clues, but where? How? I don't even know what I'm looking for, do I? I'll just take some of Makima's things with me, and I guess as many as I can carry. In the corner formed by the wall, the refrigerator and the sink, there's an extremely disturbing amount of mold growing. Just breathing the air nearby is hazardous to one's health. There aren't really any signs of food anywhere, however. Maybe Makina didn't eat much. Okay, well, I think this is the only other place left to go. Items lying about can be obtained by examining them. There may be hidden compartments or spaces in shelves and such as well, so be sure to examine everything thoroughly. Okay. Hello, it's me! If you see myself in the mirror, I look worried. You probably should be. Okay, let's see here. What do we got? Drawers need to contain only insurance documents, as well as an official name stamp. These are... I can't take these. I wonder if there are any dependents listed, though. Or if there's anything else in here. Let's see. Ah! A photograph! The top photograph on the stack depicted a young woman with a hairstyle decidedly not of the modern era. Is this Machina? The next photograph showed a different woman smiling widely. Her clothes were actually quite beautiful, and her eyes looked almost lifelike on the paper, like they could suck you in. I flipped through each of the remaining pictures, seeing mostly just more of the same, until Machina, Rocky, and Yoshie in Yokohama. Yoshie, that's Sachiko's mother. Does that mean this girl is... What's this? It's a small white box made of paper. So small, in fact, that it fit in the palm of my hand with room to spare. It was light as a feather, too. Let's open the box. Another bird skeleton! Why? Why is there another one in here? I have to pick it up, but I don't really want to. I can't do it. I'm sorry. Closed my eyes, put my hands together, saying a little prayer for the poor animal. I left the box where it lay and got back to my feet. Couldn't you use the lid to scoop it back up into the box? Okay. Something lying on the table. Batteries for my flashlight. Okay, I've got that. In the middle of the room, a twin-sized futon had been neatly laid out. And its top cover was convex, just as it would be if someone were sleeping beneath it. Oh! In fact, that's exactly what it looked like, almost unmistakably. Right on top of it sat a perfect cube of a box, about 10 centimeters across on all sides, and bright red like a Shinto torii gate. Which would have been a lot more interesting if I weren't still scared out of my mind by the thought that there might be someone under the covers this whole time. What's in here? Okay. Door won't budge. Seems to be stuck. Can't do that. Okay, did you get the box then? I have to take this back with me. It won't open. Oh, I thought she was being choked by something for a second. Woo! Oh! Oh! Ah! Ah! Oh, jeezums. It was a silhouette of a human being, all black save for two perfectly round cutouts positioned halfway up the head, glinting with an unearthly light. Wait a second. No, that's not the old... I was thinking of, like... I was like, it kind of looks like the old lady from, Miss Yui's, like, past and everything, but she definitely died way back then, so... Weird. There were no signs of life or detail anywhere along the shadowy figure except in those eyes. Those eyes were very much alive. They were undeniably the eyes of a human. Yeah? Oh! I saw something in the mirror! As if in response to my worst fears, suddenly caught sight of a small girl in a black dress standing in front of me. I mean, like, that doesn't look like Sachiko, though! Hesitantly taking a closer look, it was actually me reflected in the mirror. But not just me, there was a black shadow behind me, and it was coming closer. Panicked and whirled around, the light immediately went out. I was completely surrounded in darkness, as if whatever I'd seen had fully enveloped me. No! No, no! Oh, fuck! Ow! God, she's just running into everything! Instead of something soft and squishy, I think it was the bird skeleton. Unconsciously, I paused for a second, pondering what it may have been, but my de facto conclusion was, I don't care! I need to get the hell out of here! Yes! Door. Why is it locked? I don't remember locking it. No, please, not now. Open! Open! Feeling around along the glass door surface, I finally found what seemed to be a handle. I tried in vain to turn it, only to realize that I couldn't because... What? Why won't my right hand open? I didn't have to ask, though. I could feel it and see it. My right hand was being clasped shut by the tiny ghostly hands of a white-hued child. I shook my arm violently, and the white apparition faded from sight. But my right hand still wouldn't open. Why? Why can't I open it? I had to get out of here. That was paramount. Clenched fist or no, I needed to leave before something worse happened. Panicked, I flung open the glass door. Oh, and she went back into the... Oh, either that or like, yeah, I mean, like, I know that door was supposed to lead to the other room, but, yeah. Why? This should be the way out! I fell back, completely sick to my stomach. My heart was pounding so hard and so fast, I was convinced I was going to have a heart attack and die. At the very least, I knew I was about to lose consciousness. Oh God, it's so loud in my ear! As if just to confirm just how done for I was, my nose began bleeding profusely. I had no doubt at all anymore. This was the end. Shinozaki! Shinozaki, hey! Snap out of it! Class rep! Kishinuma moved my worn, limp body onto the tatami flooring and carefully sat me up. I regained consciousness right away. I was immediately met with the worried gazes of Kishinuma, Mochida, and Nakashima. Thank goodness you're safe! Nakashima wiped tears from her eyes. You guys... I was so relieved, so very relieved to see my friends, I started crying as well. Shinozaki, what the hell did you think you were doing coming here by yourself? I had to. I just had to. Why? Kishinuma? Satoshi? Leave this to Yoshiki. Ah! Yeah, yep. There it is. I was the cause of this. The cause of what? Everything. Everything's my fault. All our friends are gone because of me. Even Sis. Even she's gone. I was sobbing like a baby. My face must have been a mess, and my voice came out hoarse and in short bursts. How is this your fault? Because it was my idea to do the Sachiko Ever After. I'm the one who brought it to school and had everyone stay to participate. It was the start of it all. It's my fault. How can you possibly take sole responsibility for that? Hey, we're a team, Shinozaki. You know that, right? I sheepishly nodded my head, then looked down. I didn't want to meet his gaze. Well, if you know that, then don't forget it. Stop taking everything on yourself. Let me put it to you real simple. Don't you ever think for a second, not even 1 second, that this is all your fault. Kishinuma. You're not to blame, okay? So stop blaming yourself, damn it!
Kishinuma.
Everybody else here feels the same way too, right?
Yeah, Yoshiki's right. He's exactly right. Shouldn't always try to take everything on by yourself. I didn't want you guys to get dragged into this. I tried to do it myself so you wouldn't have to, but I was scared. I just couldn't do anything.
God, you are so dense. That's what I'm trying to tell you here. You did good, just don't do it again. Not without us.
I'm dense? That's mean.
No, that's not exactly what I meant, but it is very true. She's very dense in a lot of areas.
Thank you.
I didn't entirely believe them. It was a fact that this whole mess started when I led everyone in the Sachiko Ever After ritual, but I appreciated their words nonetheless. We're the ones who made it out. We have no choice but to come to terms with what happened. It's part of us now. We don't have to accept it, though.
Yeah, we can still fight this.
We can try to set things right, even if only by the slimmest of margins.
I think it's fair to say that we all feel the same way you do, class rep. You claim you couldn't do anything, however, but I'm not quite convinced that's true.
I didn't recognize the voice at all. I was a little perturbed that no one else seemed to be startled by it. It belonged to a girl I'd never seen before, wearing an unusual outfit. Yay! Hello, new best girl! I love her so much! She's a good character. She's a very good character.
You must be Ayumi Shinozaki. I'm glad to see no harm has befallen you. Who are you?
Shinozaki, this is the person who tipped us off about where you were headed and led us here. Her name's Aiko Niwa.
I'm sorry to be so presumptuous. I took the liberty of looking into you. I'm what you might call an intelligence agent, I suppose, regarding matters of the supernatural. As the little sister of Hinoue Shinozaki, I suppose the quickest way to explain is to say that I am a friend of Naho Seinoki's. A friend of Naho's? And you know Sis, too? Yes, your sister, Hinoue, made quite a name for herself in this plane. Ayumi, your right hand. Are you not able to open it?
My right hand had been clapped shut the whole time. I'd almost forgotten about it. Tried to open it again, but still couldn't.
No, I can't.
Huh? Well, let me see. Kishinuma grabbed my hand and tried prying my fingers open.
Ow, that hurts! There's no point in forcing it. It should open naturally when the time is right. You just need to be patient. Oh, and what's this now?
She attempted to open the box for a moment, but her efforts proved to be in vain, just as mine were.
This is rather intriguing. Like your hand, it simply refuses to show us what it contains. How fascinating.
Aiko was mesmerized by the unopening box. She seemed desperate to understand what force kept it sealed, almost giddy at the unspoken prospects of what it could mean.
Such spiritual energy. This is wonderful. May I hold on to this, if only for tonight? I believe I might be able to open it once I've returned home. Okay.
I had the feeling that this was less a request than it was a statement. She never would have taken no for an answer. No, she wouldn't have. Aiko, I love her. She's so cool. And for those of you wondering, yes, she is actually related to the teacher. Because, like, the teacher is, Miss Niwa. Yes, they are, actually related. I think they're sisters, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. Well, it's getting late tonight. Let's talk more tomorrow, shall we? I'll come meet you after school. That night, after I returned home, I stood in front of my mirror and just kept trying to open my right hand, put every bit of strength and energy I had into it. Ow! My fingers, it opened. Huh? Oh, what I found inside my heretofore closed hand were teeth? Human teeth from the looks of it? Tooth? Why does have tooth in hand? Why tooth in hand? Why the toofs? Very small baby teeth, 2 of them. Oh, baby toofs. Oh boy. Roots of each root were embedded deep in my palm, and I was bleeding quite a bit as a result. Why are there baby teeth in my hand? That is a very good question that I do not have the answer to. A faint light. To be continued. I have finished Chapter 0. I don't believe there are any bad ends in Chapter 0. EVP entries for Hinoi Shinozaki have been unlocked. New Encyclopedia Obscura entries have been unlocked. Okay. Wow, there's a lot of stuff that's been unlocked. I would love to save the system data. Yeah, and that's Chapter 1. Gonna double check real quick to make sure that, like, there isn't a bad ending I could get. Okay, it looks like, that's all for this chapter here. Okay, so that means it is time now to, at least, we'll get a jump start on Chapter 1. Blood Drive Chapter 1, returning! Why, though? But why, though? A day had passed since the events at Shimorenjaku South Apartments. This was a significant turning point for me, and Mochida might have been part of it from the start, except that fate seemed to have other plans for him. Miss Kuwan, I have something pressing I need to get to, so if you'll excuse me. No, you sit back down. Satoshi, your score on that algebra quiz yesterday was rather embarrassing, don't you think? Like an owner training a puppy, Koan gave him a strong glare and held up her finger in reprimand. For the next hour, I'm going to give you a personal lecture, and you're going to listen, and then the next quiz will be a snap to pass. But aren't you an English teacher? Isn't algebra a little outside your field of expertise? Anything's possible if you put your mind to it. She seemed a little taken aback by the remark, puffing up her cheeks like a chipmunk in protest. She definitely seems to have an affinity for Satoshi, you know? But Miss Kuwan? Startling how alike she and Miss Yui are. I'm sorry. Looking both bemused and guilty, Mochida tried to get up and leave in one swift motion, but he was quickly and easily caught, lifted up, and forcibly sat back down. Miss Kuon was smiling. She was actually enjoying this. Who or what am I dealing with here? Miss Kuon was only the slightest bit taller than Mochida. This did make her taller than average, but her arms were small and frail. There seemed to be no way she could have possibly lifted someone of his build. She's pretty badass. I like her. There's a lot of really good characters, like, in this game. I love them. This whole situation was rather bewildering for him, and he had made no attempt to hide his confusion. Now, let's begin, shall we? Yes, ma'am. He had no other option. Apparently, he was going to be studying algebra for the next hour, come hell or high water. Meanwhile, at the local cafe near the school, Kishinuma and I were sitting down to speak with Aiko Niwa, the informant who had led my friends to me the previous night.
Are you alright? Does your stomach hurt?
I responded with a dismissive gesture while continuing to rub my abdomen with my other hand. Ever since the previous night, I'd had this constant, unbearable urge to pee. Well, I mean, did you pee? I mean, did you not pee, like, last night while you were at home? This makes me concerned.
What the hell's wrong with me? I mean, I know I got really scared and I hyperventilated, but can that affect my body like this? Did it change something in me? My bladder feels like it's full to burst. So, where shall we begin?
Aiko tilted her head and stared at me, looking me up and down, seemingly judging my every mannerism, my every movement. It was making me feel really self-conscious. I covered my abdomen with both hands as if guarding it from her gaze.
Thank you very much for helping me yesterday. Think nothing of it. I only regret that your friends couldn't get to you sooner. Kisaragi Academy is quite large, so it took some time to track down Kishinuma and the others.
Kishinuma and I stared at one another, still unsure how to feel about this strange new addition to our entourage.
Ayumi, Kishinuma, you two are survivors from Heavenly Host Elementary, are you not?
Ooh. Yeah. Crazy how she knows that. We'd pledged never to discuss Heavenly Host with anyone, which we'd always assume would be an easy promise to keep, but now, casually and out of the blue, here we were. Why? How do you know about that?
Well, you've been touched by the ever after. When people come into contact with the beyond, the color of their auras change to something otherworldly, something I can see.
Both Kishinuma and I were speechless. I just sat there staring at my palm, subconsciously trying to see my aura, I guess. Aiko was smiling at us triumphantly.
You said you were an intelligence agent, was it? For the supernatural. And you're a friend of Naho's? That's correct. I'm the one who tipped her off about Heavenly Host Elementary, in fact.
The true source of the deaths and subsequent erasures that had turned our lives into a living nightmare was the Sachiko Ever After ritual posted on Naho's occult blog. I've been a fan of Naho's for quite some time, so when I saw that, I knew I had to try it out with my friends from Class 2-9, and as a result, half of those friends were now gone.
I suppose you're aware that Naho was involved in supernatural investigations on the behalf of one Mr. Kibiki, no? I am. I know she hasn't been posting information on Sachiko Ever After. Well, my business is of a similar nature. I gather data from spiritual hotspots and other supernatural locales and sell that data to my clients for a fair profit. Not always money, mind you. Sometimes I'll do my dirty work in exchange for a particular spirit item that perks my interest. It all depends on whom I'm dealing with. It's entirely give and take. They want my information, and I want their cash. Or their artifacts.
Physically, Aiko was a very attractive young lady, but personality-wise, the jury was out. Her words were calculated and emotionless, her true intentions a mystery.
One could call me an information dealer, but I prefer intelligence agent. And Naho was a good customer. My info on Heavenly Host proved to be her last purchase, however. At the time, Naho was single-mindedly excited about Mr. Kibiki's work. She believed he could qualify for some award with the information I found for her. Say, could you tell me, was Naho there, in that other world you found yourselves trapped in? Naho died, together with Mr. Kibiki.
I looked down as I answered. Despite everything she'd done, the memory of Naho's passing was still painful for me. Yeah, Naho was kind of a bitch. Like, you know, she doomed her friend Sayaka! Like, purely because she needed one more person to go in there with, and so that she could, like, perform the ritual, because apparently you can't perform it alone. So yeah, so she asked her, like, quote-unquote best friend, and doomed her best friend. Oh, God, it pisses me off. Hashtag justice for Sayaka! She'd become one of Heavenly Host's lost souls and gone completely berserk. In the end, I was the one who finished her off. I mean, did you? Did you really? Like, you told her the truth, and then she kind of imploded. I mean, it was a little weird, honestly. I see. I assumed as much. Aiko seemed completely unfazed by this revelation. Her tone remained even, her expression cold and distant. Honestly, I'd had about enough of her by this point. She was so devoid of empathy, it was almost offensive. I was genuinely starting to get pissed off. I mean, yeah, she's definitely aloof, but that's kind of what I like about her. And you're okay with that? I do feel sorry for her, don't get me wrong, but I had a strong feeling things would end this way. There's no point in lamenting that which I was fully prepared for. Kishinuma continued to stare intently at Aiko with his own brand of cold, emotionless eyes. He was oddly quiet, though his anger was palpable. I clenched my fist. What about this girl? I believe she performed the ritual alongside Naho. Did you see her there as well? Sayaka, no! Aiko showed us a picture of a girl named Sayaka Oe. No, I can't say I've ever met her. I see. Aiko's expression was so unfaltering. You could carve it in stone. I couldn't take it anymore. I had to say something. If you're calling Naho your customer, I don't think you can really say you were her friend. My voice was breaking with rage, but even if that hadn't been the case, my face must have read like a book. This icy bitch may have had only one expression, but I wasn't sure. Huh. Oh my. Do you have something against that word? When I deal with my customers, I give them a guarantee of the utmost quality and dedicate myself to their satisfaction. It's an unbreakable bond of trust, like one would have for a partner. It's not always something you can say about friendship, now is it? I had no idea what to say. It seemed like Aiko was used to this sort of thing. Her response felt carefully rehearsed, like a sales pitch. Finally, Kishinuma broke the silence. Hey, I do want to thank you for helping us save Shinozaki yesterday. Really. But spreading dangerous information just to pay the bills? How the hell could you sleep at night? Information is just that. Information. It's harmless on its own. There's no good or bad. It's like a tool. It's up to the recipient how it's used. Anything can be harmful in the wrong hands, after all. Why? That cup over there could be used to kill a man just as easily as any knife. The hell it could? That's bullshit and you know it. Not really. See, that's the thing, is that, like, I definitely am on her side with this argument, because, yeah, you know, listen, it's like, hey, I found out this information for you, and you tell it to them. But I'm willing to bet she probably also tells them the risks involved. Because, like, you know, Naho isn't stupid. Naho knew the kind of risk she was walking into. So more than likely, you know, Aiko probably warned her that, like, hey, this is pretty dangerous shit, you know, be careful. Ayumi, do you agree? Aiko, I'm sorry, but I hate the way you think. I feel it's irresponsible. It's not irresponsible. If someone comes to... It's like... And this is an extreme analogy. It's like someone goes into a gun store to buy a gun. And then they later accidentally shoot themselves with the gun that they purchased. Is it the person who sold the gun's fault that happened? Or is it the person who pulled the trigger? You know, like, it's that. Information is just the same, at least in this particular case. Now, if she was doing it with the intent of hurting people, that would be different, but she seems to be nothing more than like an information broker. Her expression remained calm and collected overall, but her eyes blinked several times in rapid succession. It was the first outward sign of emotion we'd seen from her. Well now, it seems I've come to be regarded as something of a villain here. I can't say this is new or unexpected, but it never ceases to be disheartening. Aiko quickly shrugged off her sudden outburst and was back to her usual icy self. It doesn't matter now anyway. We destroyed Heavenly Host. It's gone. An awkward tension filled the room, or at least our table. I mean, they did not do that. They thought they did that, but they did not do that. Let's get down to business then. There's a reason I sought you out. Something I wanted to discuss with you. I produced a thick, hardbound file folder from the light blue bag she'd brought with her. She opened it to reveal several documents of questionable nature. Among them were what looked to be a family tree, as well as numerous pages featuring black magic symbology or images that looked like tree branches. Black magic spell charts? And is that the Shinozaki family tree? You may find what I'm about to tell you a bit shocking. Aiko was looking directly into my eyes now. Her gaze was fixed, intense and unblinking. What Kishinuma said a moment ago is incorrect. Huh? What do you mean? Heavenly Host Elementary has not been destroyed. It still exists, even now. Take a look at this. Aiko placed a black and white photo on the table. It wasn't the clearest of pictures, but there was no doubt that the location depicted was Heavenly Host. Right, they made Yuki, like, you know, the new, like, quote-unquote Sachiko of, like, the closed space. I thought they knew that, like, you know, they, hadn't actually destroyed it. Maybe that's just what they hoped had happened. I don't know. In the picture, a small girl could be seen standing in one of those all-too-familiar hallways, holding a hatchet in her right hand. It's Heavenly Host! Where did this come from? We have confirmation, then. It's a photograph I've taken. I didn't have the power to produce a clear image, but this is the current state within Heavenly Host. I don't understand. What am I looking at? I can't even describe what was going through my head at the moment. Felt like I was about to burst. Aiko, however, remained calm as ever while recounting her story. Let's start at the beginning. First, the red box from yesterday. After some time, I was able to open it, and I found these spirit items contained within. The box I'd found on Makina's futon. Inside it were apparently two stones resembling magatama, comma-shaped ceremonial objects from Japanese antiquity. Also included in the box were several more roughly hewn stones, as well as a lining along the edges consisting of crumpled pieces of thin white paper. Unfortunately, most of the box's contents were broken or damaged. This pair, however, was still fully intact. Oh, that's the thing! That's the thing that we always see. They almost look like a demented version of the yin and yang symbols, puzzle pieces that were clearly built to be slotted together. Now, Aiko held one stone in each hand and was motioning them toward one another as if to drive the point home. Spirit items are, in the simplest terms, items that could have been infused with the thoughts and feelings of the dead. Those who bear such objects will be visited by the spirits within them, or at the very least, be forever privy to their memories and earthly laments. It's a wonderful thing. I may not quite look the part, but I'm actually quite an avid collector of spirit items. Kishinuma and I briefly locked eyes again. We shared the same look of bewilderment. Aiko's personality was much more twisted than either of us had initially perceived it to be. I tried to get a fix on this little girl's thoughts, and in doing so, I heard a vengeful cry, saw an image of a girl with braided hair in an abandoned school building. My curiosity having been piqued, I took out this camera. At this, she produced an old instant camera and placed it on the table in front of us, and tried to take a photo of the image in my mind. The result is that shot. This particular spirit item allows me to produce images from the exact moment in time when the picture is taken. The past and future alike are beyond its reach. I examined the photograph in greater detail and a chill ran down my spine. There was absolutely no denying what it depicted.
No.
I was actually shaking.
Without Sachiko Shinozaki, the school should have disappeared. It should have ceased to exist as soon as we escaped.
I believe the collapse was halted, perhaps right on the brink even. Maybe because of the person to whom that voice I heard belongs. Aiko motioned toward the photo in my hand. It could even be the girl in that picture. I wonder who she is. The answer was beginning to dawn on me. A sudden cold sensation exploded through my body as I shuddered, as if trying to shake off the encroaching realization. God damn it. You really think that hellhole is still around? Kishinuma leaned forward. The conversation was clearly beginning to engage him a lot more than it had been. Heavenly Host Elementary, or rather, the dimensional space that took the form of Heavenly Host Elementary, fascinated me from the moment I introduced it to Naho. I began to research it independently, and learned that its true identity is, well, something like a new nirvana, a netherworld or hereafter, an otherworldly plane of death. Though ordinarily one tends to think of there being only this world and the next.
A new nirvana?
That's correct. You know about Yoshie Shinozaki, do you not?
Yeah.
And of her clinic, the Shinozaki estate wherein the grimoire known as the Book of Shadows was located?
Yeah.
Why? How could she know about that? A million thoughts, a million questions were running through my head. I was speechless. All I could do was sit there and hear her out. It was like a muffled scream or a groan of agony. The sound you make when you want to make a sound but are barely able to. So that's Yoshie and I think Sachiko in the background there. That one was a little more forceful, accompanied by thrashing. It caused the nearby table light to fall over and roll on the ground.
Please, dear, come now. You need to stay calm.
This was Yoshie Shinozaki's clinic. Yoshie herself was on top of her husband, holding him down with both hands. She continued her Shinto purification chant. To prevent Seiji from biting off his own tongue, he had been gagged with a towel. Needless to say, he wasn't looking particularly well. Not far from where this occurred, Sachiko stood aghast, trembling as she watched the proceedings with hesitant sidelong glances. Izanagi no Okami, who visits the underworld and beholds our foul spirits, guide us to the cleansing waters of the Tachibana on the Odono Hagihara shores of the land of Tsukushi. Seiji, still on the floor, was clearly suffering. His body was bent in an unnatural shape. He was fervently clawing at his neck. I beseech thee, in the name of the divine virtues of the gods gathered there, to wash away the sins we've committed, and the impurities that dwell within our minds and bodies. Machiko's father screamed through the gag. Foam began to froth from its edges. He was going into cyanosis. Oh, Jesus Christ. That scared the shit out of me. Because, like, in my headphones, it sounded like they were all around me. Ghostly images of Shinozaki women from ages past smiled down upon the event from the ceiling, laughing and mocking his suffering. Well, we do know that all of the men from the Shinozaki family die after, like, not long after giving birth, so, yeah. Worse still, some of the women had traditionally blackened teeth, giving their smiles an intentionally sinister edge. The atmosphere within the room was heavy, as if spirits occupied every empty corner, dancing and flitting about freely and joyously. Ichi's body sharply bent and began convulsing.
Come to this world, multitudinous Okami of Haraedo. Dear, stay with me, dear! Ah! Miyoya no Mitama, I beg you, please do not take him!
Her great-grandmother, Seira, the head of the Shinozaki family, was among the black-teeth women, laughing joyously at Seiji's suffering.
Daddy! Daddy!
His voice began to weaken and his convulsions began to lose strength. Finally, the last spark of life left his body. His eyes rolled back into his head and all movement ceased.
Daddy, why aren't you breathing?
Hachiko looked up, eyes glazed over with tears. Yoshie, too, was stricken with grief and despair.
This is what it means to be a Shinozaki, to be part of the cursed bloodline. All men who marry in are guaranteed to die quickly. Not even Yoshie could circumvent that fate. So she turned to the forbidden book, an item she and her family had been protecting for generations from those who might misuse it. The grimoire, the Book of Shadows.
I'm guessing that the reason she did that was that she was trying to somehow save his soul and messed up somehow.
To lose a loved one was a fate she feared more than anyone else. She tried to offset it through black magic. It was an act of truly absurd foolishness. She must have cared for him so deeply, she would have literally done anything to see him again, no matter the cost to her own immortal soul.
Aiko stared deeply into my eyes, seemingly fishing for a reaction to her tale.
But then, what happened next was beyond belief.
I continued listening, unknowingly stroking the wound on my thigh as unpleasant memories of my own foolish running with black magic resurfaced.
The Shinozaki blood that flowed through Yoshie's veins was more powerful than anyone could have known. Its energy spawned something so much different than what Yoshie intended. By which, of course, I mean...
I instantly knew what she was going to say.
From the books she created a new nirvana. There, one could coexist with the dead for all eternity. It was a new dimension cut off from the netherworld itself, forcibly born unto the world of the living.
Yeah.
Yoshie must have lost half her sanity right there. She tried to leave her only child, Sachiko, in the real world, while living with her husband's soul in the new nirvana. The land of corpses. However, this nirvana had a mind of its own. Yoshie couldn't possibly control it, Shinozaki or no.
I knew that all too well. Just like Yoshie, I had experienced my own tragic failure with black magic at the Shinozaki clinic.
Black magic has its own blowback of sorts. Her husband's soul was split apart and scattered in all directions. Yoshie's life, too, was on the verge of being snuffed out. She knew she'd made a mistake. She deeply regretted it, and she took what she could have only assumed to be her dying breath. Her sole daughter, Sachiko, in possession of near limitless spiritual potential, absorbed the entirety of this new nirvana into her body. Sachiko?
The poor girl collapsed to the floor, violently thrashing around as the weight of an entire dimension crushed her from the inside. This action saved her mother's life, certainly, but death would have surely been preferable. Picking herself up, Yoshie rushed to her daughter's side in tears.
Sachiko! Sachi, why? Mommy! Don't die, Mommy!
Both parent and child were bawling pain mixing with relief, mixing with pain again. The little girl buried her face in Yoshie's bosom and just cried and cried. Yoshie grasped her tightly in both arms, tears streaming down her face uncontrollably. By this point, Sachiko's body had begun producing a dark blue aura.
I'm sorry, Sachi. I'm so sorry. Mommy was wrong. Mommy has you. So from now on, Mommy will never leave you. She'll never even think of leaving you again.
Oh. That's nice, but it's what caused all the problems.
As you know, Sachiko is a direct descendant of the Shinozaki line, a thoroughbred. This means her power is greater than Yoshie's. It had to be, of course, for her to house an entire dimension within her body. Aiko took a big, noisy sip from her coffee mug. At the time, she must have been the strongest practitioner of dark arts in the world, little girl or no. Yet despite that, she wound up dying. That's right. The day Yoshie fell and died, Sachiko disappeared. That was 50 years ago now. They were both killed by the principal. Just as I suspected. The principal's heinous actions are to blame, then, for resurrecting the new nirvana within Sachiko and creating the closed spaces we know now as Heavenly Host Elementary. It's probably because the school was a site of Sachiko's violent demise that her nirvana took on its form. Yet even then, with Sachiko reborn as a spirit in that realm, she was still all-powerful, seemingly continuing to exert complete control over it. I guess that's why she was able to manifest so many different horrible things in there. This was all starting to make a sick sort of sense. Pieces were falling in place and painting an absurdly awful picture. I shuddered to myself as I considered it. When you escaped, you removed Sachiko from the equation, but the Nirvana remained, and is going berserk once more. You should have just disappeared. The world would have been better off without it. This entire conversation was a roller coaster of emotions for me. At this point, I was just angry. Angry at everyone involved in this whole ordeal, myself included. Now then, if I may, I'd like to discuss something a bit outlandish with you. Okay? Would you like to see your dead friends again? That certainly got our attention. We both perked our heads up immediately. Ooh, boy. And I am sorry to say, but I've definitely gone over time for this episode. So I think that we're going to have to call it here and pick it up right from here in the next episode. So thank you everybody so much for watching. I appreciate you being here with me. Oh boy. Yeah, I just kind of kept going because, I couldn't find a good stopping point. But I think that this is kind of the perfect stopping point. Because, next time it looks like we're going to learn how Aiko intends to possibly bring, all of our friends back to life. Which I don't necessarily think is a good idea. We already messed up with that once and it didn't turn out well. So I don't think it's going to go better a second time. But considering how desperate Ayumi is, I've no doubt she'll listen. But either way, thanks again, everybody. And as always, if you enjoyed this as much as I did, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe it if you're not already. Ring that bell for all them notifications is. And until next time, have yourselves a beautiful day, my beautiful, beautiful viewers. Hey there, if you enjoyed this video, why don't you consider subscribing to my Patreon so I can keep making awesome videos like the one you just saw. The link will be in the description below, and as always, have yourselves a beautiful, beautiful day.